When I was young, my family overseas. I lived in Indonesia for a few years, and my mother, she didn't have the money to send me when all the American kids went to school, but she thought it was important to me to keep up with American education, so she decided to take me extra lessons herself, Monday through Friday. But because I had to go to work, the only time to go to it at 4:40 in the morning. But when I complained, my mother she gave me a one look and she said, "This is no picnic for me either, Buster." So I know that some of you are still adjusting to being back at school, but I'm here today because I have something important to discuss with you. My father left my family when I was 2 years old. I was raised by a single mom who had to work and who struggled at times to pay the bills and wasn't always able to keep up the things that other kids had. There were times when I missed having a father in my life. There were times when I was lonely and I felt like I didn't fit. So I wasn't always as focused as I should have been on school, and it is something that I shouldn't grow and got some more trouble than I should have. And my life could have easily taken a turn for the worse. But I was lucky. I got a second chance. That I had this opportunity in law school to follow my dream. My wife, our First Lady, Michelle Obama, she has a fibula surgery. Neither of her parents had gone to college, and they didn't have money. But they worked hard, and she worked hard so that she could go to the best school in the country. But some of you might not have those advantages. Maybe you don't have those in your life who give you support that you need. Maybe someone of your family has lost their job and there's not enough money to go around. Maybe you live in a neighborhood when you feel sad. I have friends who are reassuring you do things you know all right. Maybe you could be a great writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book or articles in the paper, but you don't might know it until you write that English class paper that assigned to you. Maybe you could be an innovator or an innovator, maybe good enough to come up with the next iPhone or new medicine or vaccines, but you might not know it until you do write it for your assigned lot. Maybe you could be a mayor, or senator, or a Supreme Court justice, but you might not know that until you join student government or the debate team. And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you will need education to do it. You want to be a doctor or teacher or police, you want to be a nurse or architect or lawyer or member of our military, you want to need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job. You got to train for it and work for it and learn for it. And this is just important for your own life and your own future. When you make your education, it really nothing less than the future of this country. The future of America depends on you. What you learn in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest strategies in the future. You need the knowledge and problem-solving skill you learn in science and math to kill disease like cancer and AIDS, and to develop new energy technology and protect our environment. You need the insight and critical thinking skill to gain history and social study to fight poverty and homelessness, crime and discrimination, and make your nation more fair and more free. You need the creativity and ingenuity to develop all these lessons to build a company, to create new jobs and boost our economy. We need every single one of you to develop so you can have an awful soul, our most difficult problems. If you don't do that, if you waste on school, you're not just waiting on yourself, you're waiting on your country. I know it's not always easy to do well at school. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork. I get it and know what it's like. But at the end of the day, the circumstance of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got to go at home, none of that is a excuse for neglecting your homework and having a bad attitude in school. There's no excuse for taking back to your teacher and cutting lunch or robbing out of school. There is no excuse for not trying. Where you are right now doesn't have to determine what you end up. No one's written your destiny for you. Because here in America, you write your own destiny. You make your own future. That's what young people like you are doing every day all across America. That's why today I'm calling it up to you to set your goals for your education and do everything you can meet them. Your goal can be something as simple as do all your homework, pay attention in class, or passing someone each day, reading a book. Maybe you decide to get involved in an extracurricular volunteer in your country. Maybe you decide to stand up for kids who are being teased or bullied because of who they are or how they look. Because you believe I like do that all young people deserve a safe environment to study and learn. Maybe you decide to take better care of yourself so you can be more ready to learn. But whatever you decide to do, I want you to commit to it. I want you to really work at it. I know that sometimes you get that sense on TV that you be rich and successful without any hard work. That you think it's success is rapping or basketball or being a reality TV star. Chances are not you're going to be any of those things. The truth is being successful is hard. You won't close every subject that you study. You won't click with every teacher that you have. Not every homework assignment will seem completely relevant to your life right at this minute. And you won't necessarily succeed at everything the first time you try. That's okay. Some of the most successful in the world are the ones who have the most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. Her first Harry Potter book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He lost hundreds of games and missed thousands of shots during his career, but he once said, I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. These people succeed because they understood that you can't let your failure define you. You have to let your failure teach you. You have to let them show you what to do differently the next time. So if you get into trouble, that doesn't mean you are a troublemaker. It means you need to try harder to act right. If you get bad grades, it doesn't more to stay. No one's born being good at all things. You become good at things through hard work. You're not the best athlete the first time you play a new sport. You don't hit every note the first time you sing a song. You got to practice. The same principle applies to your schoolwork. You might have to do a math problem a few times before you get it right. You might have to read something a few times before you understand it. You definitely have to do a few flops of paper before it's good enough to handle it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do that every day. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Because so you to have courage to admit when you don't know something, and that then allows you to learn something new. So find an adult that you trust, a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a coach, or a counselor, and ask them to help you stay on track to meet your goals. And even when you're struggling, and even when you're discouraged, and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on yourself. Because when you give up on yourself, you give up on your country. The story of America isn't about people who wait the thing to top. It's about getting harder, to try harder, who love their country too much, to do anything less than bad. It's a story of students who asked, when you said 50 years ago, when to wage a nation a founded nation, young people. Students who said when you said 75 years ago, who overcame the Depression and won a world war, who was civil rights and put a man on the moon. Student who said what you said 20 years ago, who founded Google and Twitter and Facebook, and changed the way we communicate with each other. So today, I want to ask all of you, what's your contribution to the what problem are you solving? What discovery will you make? What will residents who come here in 20 or 50 or 100 years say about now your family, your teachers, and you're doing everything to make sure you have the education you need as a direction. I'm working hard to fix up your classroom and get your books and the equipment and the computer you need to learn. But you got to do your part too. So I expect all of you to get serious this year. I expect you to put your best effort into everything you do. I expect raising from each of you. So don't let us down. Don't let your family down or your country down. Most of all, don't let yourself down. Make us all proud.